the first to know Nsem-Pii TV.
Bono Regional Chairman Kwame Bafo-Abronye gwahu se mpanifo sese yeyi uti na wankasem a yeyi eyibone mene wo ekasa Kwame Bafo-Abronye ese ne life eda danger na Kwame Bafo-Abronye de krata tetenten de aba abonten esiki asylum de free foreign countries ni say baby a ne life no ekeka kon say won amwa na wanhwe a NDC amanyoko ni nkofo bi ebetimi agye ne kra afri ne nsem na esan so omo na wo power nti no onye obi kra nso na akwa report na asem de amanu so the best thing ne say obetimi a report etimi de ama foreign institutions no na won aba ne de nye sade a na ebia Ghana ya nti asempa ne nkokwa me Bafo-Abronye ekrata no emu Ose Kwame Bafo-Abronye, Regional Chairman, New Patriotic Party, Bono Region, to Immigration or Refugee Affairs Department, Embassy, High Commission, Asylum Authority. Dear Sir or Madam, subject, formal request for political asylum and security protection. Dear kind, 1. Kwame Bafo-Abronye, a Ghanaian politician, and the current regional chairman of the New Patriotic Party, NPP, in the Bono region of Ghana, respectfully submit this formal application for political asylum and security protection from now to the period when my application will be assessed and granted by any of the countries I have applied to as attached below. I have attach all relevant documents establishing my Ghanaian citizenship, marked Exhibit A, ground for seeking asylum. My request is based on consistent, escalating political prosecution, threat to my life, and system abuse of state security powers by the current government of Ghana. The key grounds are 1. Unlawful arrest and detention. In February 2025, shortly after the current NDC government assumed office, I became the first opposition politician to be invited, arrested, and detained by the National Investigation Bureau for over 13 hours. My arrest followed my public criticism of the government crude, unfair and blanket dismissal of over 150,000 Ghanaians workers without due cause and a call for their immediate reinstatement. During my detention, I was threatened, intimidated, and stimuli warned that unless I cease criticism the government, I would face more severe measures in the future. 2. Ongoing threat and intimidation. Since my release, I have received persistent threat, both verbal and electronic, via WhatsApp and SMS, from individuals linked to the ruling party, including those currently holding the government positions. Recently, I publicly questioned the Inspector General of Police, IGP, Mr. Christian Tete Yohonu, on an online TV program that I host for failing to address the worsening insecurity in Ghana per the recent release Global Peace Index report, particularly the tribal conflict in the north that have resulted in death and displacement, while instead focusing on the selective arrest of opposition members for expressing personal opinion online, even when officers, members, and support of the ruling party has also said same or even worse. Following my public remark, I received a threatening call from an individual claiming to be an investigator and identifying himself only as Mr. Said, claiming to act on instruction of the IGP. He ordered me to report to the National Police Headquarters immediately to answer questions as to why I have been insulted and disrespecting the IGP, Mr. Christian Tete Yohonu. threatened that my failure to comply would result in huge forcefully apprehended and dealt with mercilessly, that I won't come back to life. Through my lawyers, I officially wrote to the Criminal Investigation Department, CID, to verify if any official complaint has been lodged against me and if they had invited me. The Director General of CID, through the Secretary, informed my lawyers that they had not received nor initiated any criminal investigations against me, and rather directed my lawyers back to the supposed investigator, Mr. Said, who, when contacted, flatly refused to clarify and instead ominously stated, "Tell that boy that if he refused to come and we pick him up, he won't come back to life." A confidential source within the police later informed me of a secret meeting where plans has been finalized to arrest, detain, and brutalize me should I appear at police headquarters, escalating pattern of prosecution. In recent months, there has been a disturbing trend of opposition politicians being arrested and detained beyond the constitutional mandated 48 hours without bail. This has created a climate of fear and intimidation where political opponents and of the government are deliberately targeted. Based on these realities and the direct threat to my life and liberty, I am convinced that both I and my family are in imminent and grave danger. Legal protocols relied upon in this application. This application is respectfully grounded upon the following binding international legal instruments and guidelines: 1951 Refugee Convention and 1967 Protocol recognize the applicant's well-founded fear of prosecution for the political opinion and prohibiting refoulement. Universal Declaration of Human Rights, Article 14, affirming the application right to seek asylum. 3. International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, Article 9 and 19, safeguarding liberty, protection from arbitrary detention, and freedom of expression. 4. 1969 OAU Refugee Convention, extending refugee status to persons fleeing systemic political persecution and serious disturbance of public orders. UNHCR guidelines on international protection, recognizing that persecution of opposition politicians and denial of state protection fall within the refugee protection framework. Conclusion: in light of the above and in genuine fear for my personal safety and that of my family, I respectfully seek political asylum and security protection in your country. I place my trust in your respected institution to consider my case urgently and to extend the necessary humanitarian assistance and protection under international convention governing of the right asylum seekers. Thank you for your kind attention. Sincere, Kwame Bafo-Abronye. Nti abusuafo Kwame Bafo-Abronye ede ne ho ejaye because be an life ekeka kono enye asem kotwa emfa emano.
To say that they gave us only about 5 days and that we needed a little more time, 1 week, to run up. We had even raised the issue that asking both parties to file their addresses simultaneously was not the best in view of the fact that there were petitioners who are alleging wrongdoing on the part of the Chief Justice, and therefore they should have the option to tell us how they have seen this thing right from the beginning for us to respond. The committee said, no, we should still keep to what they have said. And then they told us that, look, after all, if they ask us to file it by a certain date and we have not finished, we could file it within a reasonable time. It's not by force that we should meet it by all means, but we should file it within a reasonable time. That was 25th or so. That was when we were talking. So we took the 1 week and we were about to file it on the following Monday, only to be told that the report had already been issued. If you followed me on the PM Express, I also made the point that I didn't know that Chachu and his people had even filed their submissions because we were not served. It is this morning that you started reading from it that I was taken aback and said, what is happening? You even have a copy of what they filed. So, like I said, where is the fairness? They didn't even wait for us to file whatever. They did not say that if you don't file it by a certain date, we will take it that you are no longer interested in filing. But they just went ahead, apparently having prepared whatever they wanted to prepare, and went and submitted it based upon one-sided, submission. From what you are telling me now, these were the things that Chachu told them. What about our side? So they didn't want to hear what we wanted to say.
Okay, so let's get to learn about the facts. You were giving the 25th of August.
That is 5 days.
To file your written submissions, right?
Yes, yes.
By 25th, you had not filed.
We had not, because we were preparing to start the Shining Stars 2 at the same time.
But the petitioner, as in Daniel Ofori and his lawyers, had filed by 25th.
Nobody told us anything. Nobody. That's what I'm saying. I'm hearing it from you for the first time, because they told us we could file it within a reasonable time.
But you were giving 25th.
Adjourned the hearings to the 15th of September.
But you had just confirmed to me a while ago that you were giving the 25th to file.
Have I denied that?
Right. So as
we were giving.
Okay,
please,
I'm informing you.
I don't want this kind of.
No, we are doing just a bit of a fact.
Creating the impression as if I'm telling lies.
No. I'm not suggesting. I won't do that. I won't do that, sir. So I'm saying that on the 25th, the petitioner had filed their written submissions. They filed it on the 25th because that was the deadline you were giving, but you were unable to meet the deadline.
I'm saying to you that they said we should file it by the 25th. 24th, we wrote to them that we were on it, we would not be able to complete, and we needed 1 week.
Okay.
That was the day that Oliver Vomawo's group were also to start theirs. And we said, look, we are settled with 2 of them. One to write the submission, at the same time prepare to come and meet the Oliver Vomawa people, Shining Stars. So could we be given 1 week to organize ourselves, file the written submission, and then start the hearing?
Okay.
And they told us that day, because it did not involve Chachuchikata and his group, they were not there. So what they would tell us is that they would give us an advice that we should try and file it within a reasonable period. That is all.
Okay.
And then the entire trial was then adjourned to the 15th to give Shining Stars, their lawyer, and whoever will come sufficient time to come back. What is today's date?
Right. So as I understand, you also were surprised that the committee had come up with a report on one petition when your expectation was that they will wait for the whole, all the petitions to be gone into before they present, as it were, a composite and one address or one report.
Oliver Vomawa was there on the first day when they tried to agree on the procedures they were going to adopt. And he will tell you that what they said was that they had 3 petitions. They would start with Daniel Ofori and adjourn the 2 Sanadai. When they are ready, they will call us, give us hearing notices to come, and then we go on with the other ones. So they were only going to start with Daniel Ofori. In the course of time, we received a hearing notice to appear to talk about issues being raised by Shining Stars. And I raised the objection that we are not finished with one, which you said you wanted to do. Why are you now moving on to deal with this one? He said, oh, these are just preliminary matters because they have indicated they wanted to call so many people, to subpoena so many people, and they wanted to talk to them to let them know how these subpoenas are done. Ask him, he was there with us, for example, that day. He had not always been with us because we have only been with Daniel Ofori. So he was there the first day, then he came again for these preliminary matters to be dealt with, and that was it. I don't remember that he sat through and he can tell you what took place. I sat through and started the cross-examination from day one in December. On the Wednesday of May or so.
When you were agreeing on the procedure to be adopted, where the committee announced to you that they were going to use the CI 47, the High Court rules, they were going to use the High Court rules as it were, and adopt it and the High Court rules, and with necessary modifications where necessary. They had also announced to you, as in all of you, the lawyers and the parties in the room, that, quote, the trial will be petition by petition. Each of the three will be tried separately, end quote. Is that what you were told?
I wasn't there on the first day. It was my colleague Edu Kusi, who was present. But I read the proceedings for that day.
Okay.
And I'm saying that they told them that if you have a copy, read the entire thing and see whether you will not find them saying that they are going to adjourn the two Sanadai and call us when they are ready. Find out whether it was not agreed upon on that first day.
All right. So hold on briefly for me. I'll return to you. We'll deal with the substance.
About fairness and procedure. I thought you said that they teach law and ethics. Here is somebody who tells us that he is going to adjourn the other petition Sanadai and will call us when they are ready. He goes to the president, informs the president that indeed the people asked for adjournment and we have adjourned the case to the 15th of September. We will be going back. Why was there? Where is that indecent haste to rush and go and present the petition where you have told everybody there are two more that you intend to deal with? What is the indecent haste for? What are they trying to prevent? The ECOWAS decision or other decisions in the court? If somebody doesn't want to speculate, we will speculate. If somebody doesn't want to speculate, we will go ahead and speculate. Why? What is the rush for? What is the rush for? 1 week. As she herself put it, what would it have spoiled? If you give us 1 more week to wind up. And again, they didn't even say we are not going to grant you. So go and file immediately. What they said was that, we have all been practitioners. And I'm quoting Gabriel Puama. We have all been practitioners before. The fact that you are asked to file by a certain date, if you cannot meet it, doesn't mean that you cannot file. So just file it within a reasonable time. And then we would decide. So you are saying that there's nothing wrong when you listen to only one side. You listen to, now you are quoting things from their submission. Have you seen ours to also see what responses we gave to those things? Have you seen ours?
I would love to see that. See yours.
This is just most unfair. Everything they have done is wrong. And they are just in a hurry.
But I am not the committee. I decided myself to subject myself through 106 pages of address to read, to inform myself of the one side. But you see what addresses we cannot do.